I'm Tanya, 68. Sitting on the porch of my renovated ranch house, I'm holding the mining company's quarterly report. The check inside, a hefty $450,000 this time, still takes my breath away. It's been 6 months since my life took a dramatic turn, and I often reflect on how I got here. It all started at my husband Greg's while reading. I remember sitting in that stuffy law office, still wearing the black dress from his funeral a few days prior. Across from me was my son Ryan, fidgeting uncomfortably, and his wife Lisa, examining her nails with an air of boredom. The lawyer, Mr. Thompson, began reading the will in that monotonous voice. To my beloved wife, Tanya, I leave the ranch property on Pine Ridge Road. Before he could finish, Lisa let out an exaggerated sigh. Oh, come on. Just get rid of that old place and come live with us. You can actually be of some use. My heart sank. Ryan, the boy I'd raised with so much love and sacrifice, just sat there, silent. After the reading, Lisa's words cut deep. Get out of our lives and go play farmer at that old ranch. Maybe the isolation will make you realize how much you've failed as a mother. I was too stunned to speak. Ryan just mumbled that it might be for the best. I felt like my whole world was collapsing. I drove to the ranch in a haze of tears. It was a dilapidated place, far from town, down a neglected dirt road. As I stepped inside, the musty smell and the emptiness hit me hard. I sat in the living room and cried, mourning not just Greg but the family I thought I had. In the first week, the silence was deafening. I woke up each morning expecting to hear Greg's coffee pot or Ryan's complaints. Instead, there was nothing but the creaking of the old house. To keep myself busy, I started cleaning. Room by room, I uncovered parts of Greg's past I'd never known. In the bedroom that was clearly his as a child, I found a collection of old coins. In what must have been his grandfather's study, there were maps and old letters. But the biggest surprise was in the kitchen. Behind a loose board in the pantry, I found a metal box with letters from a woman named Isabella, dated from the 1930s. The letters spoke of a mining operation and a hidden wealth on the land. That evening, I called an old friend, Martha, who'd lived in town for ages. She told me that Greg's grandfather, Henry, had been involved in a mining venture. He was convinced there was silver on the property. But then the war came, and he married Isabella, and the mining business was forgotten. Over the next few days, I searched the house more thoroughly. In Henry's desk, I found survey maps and correspondence with the mining authorities. And in the bedroom closet, I discovered a manila envelope with updated geological surveys. They confirmed the presence of a significant silver deposit on the ranch. There was also a letter from a mining company, dated just a few months before Greg's death, offering to lease the mineral rights for a huge sum. Greg had never told me about any of this. I sat there, surrounded by evidence of his secret life, and realized that the ranch, which Ryan and Lisa had dismissed as worthless, was potentially worth millions. I decided to take action. I called the mining company, and they were eager to arrange a site visit. A week later, a team led by a seasoned man named Jack and his young assistant, Mia, arrived. They walked the boundaries of the ranch and explained the details of the silver deposit. Jack said, "Mrs. Tanya, given the current silver prices and the quality of the deposit, we're prepared to offer you $5 million upfront for a 20-year lease, plus quarterly royalties that could be substantial." I was in shock. This was more money than I'd ever dreamed of. I told them I'd need to review the contract with a lawyer. That afternoon, Ryan called. His voice was strained. "Mom, Lisa and I are having some financial problems with the house. We were wondering if you could help us out." I was silent for a moment. Then I asked him, "Ryan, are you happy with Lisa?" He was taken aback. "Of course I'm happy. Why do you ask?" I reminded him of all the sacrifices I'd made for him, of how I'd worked extra shifts to support him when he was young. I told him I wouldn't be treated like a burden. After that conversation, I signed the mining contract. When I got home, there were multiple missed calls from Ryan and Lisa. Their voices on the voicemails had changed from condescending to panicked. They'd found out that the mineral rights to their house might still belong to the ranch. I called Ryan back. He pleaded with me for help, but I was firm. I told him about the mining lease and how it would make me financially secure. I also told him that I was done being his safety net. I wanted him to be the man I'd raised him to be, to know the difference between love and control. Over the next few months, Ryan's calls changed. He started to apologize, and his words seemed genuine. He told me about his children's achievements and that they missed me. He also said he was trying to be a better man. Now, as I look around my renovated ranch, I'm filled with a sense of pride and contentment. I've used the money not just for physical improvements, but also for experiences. I've taken art classes, traveled to different places, and learned about the geology of my land. I've reclaimed my worth. I've learned that love without respect is just manipulation, and sometimes, the best thing you can do for someone is to let them face the consequences of their actions. I'm no longer the woman who was exiled from her family. I'm Tanya, a woman who's found her power and is living life on her own terms.